knitters, welcome to the Wise Owl Knits Fibercast. I'm your host, Cheryl Beckridge, and on this Fibercast I talk about all of the fiber crafts that I am working on or have finished or am thinking about or designing. I appreciate you taking the time to watch me today. I really appreciate that you took time out of your busy schedule to watch what I'm doing, and I hope to make this entertaining for you. If you like the Fibercast, please subscribe, like, leave me a comment. I love to get the comments, and I hope to see you here often. If it's your first time here, welcome. For the rest of you that have been here before, welcome back. What I'm wearing today, I'm wearing my Wispy Willow cardigan, and this is a pattern that I did several years ago, and then I did a reboot of it just last year in another yarn. That was a linen wool blend yarn that I did the reboot in. Both styles are fingering weight yarn, and it's worked from the neck down, all in one piece, raglan shaping. Really a very easy and doable pattern, and a quick pattern with the cap sleeves. You can do longer sleeves if you'd like. You could do 3/4 length or full length sleeves if you wanted to. But I like this for something just to throw on where it might be a little chilly, but at a time where I don't need a full-on sweater, just maybe something to keep my shoulders warm. So that is the Wispy Willow cardigan that I'm wearing today. Welcome back. Now let's get started. Here is what I have finished. I have been working on some Christmas stockings. So this stocking is for the dog Bella, and the knitting is done, but I still need to put Bella's name on this green panel with duplicate stitch. I still need to make an I-cord hanger for it, and I still need to add the lining. The way I do the lining is I double the fabric and I lay the stocking on top and basically just draw an outline and cut it out. Sew all around the edges, fold over a hem, and then I sew the hem to the top of the stocking up here. I also secure it at the heel and at the toe so that the lining doesn't pop out when the stocking is being emptied. So makes the stocking much more usable because, you know, knit fabric, if you put something heavy in there, it's going to stretch or you know, get misshapen. But with the lining in there, it works much better. It's just a more utilitarian stocking. Rather than just looking pretty, we want it to work for people too. So that is the Christmas stocking for Bella. The other thing that is almost finished, really the knitting is finished, and I wore this last time, but the wildflower tee, I have been busy on my computer the past few mornings writing the pattern. This is the second version of the wildflower tee that I did. I did one in Knitting McPurley yarn where I used 5 colors, and on this version I used 3 colors. The green is a yarn from Tuscan Knits, which, as you all know, she's not dying anymore, so that's a precious commodity. The pink and the purple are a sock set from Sweet Mountain Crafts or Wyoming Fiber. I'm not sure if both names work now or if it's really one or the other, but I think it seems like she's going more towards Wyoming Fiber. I may have to verify that. But the sock set had a pink variegated for the main color, and a mini skein of the purple. So I used most of the purple, but I still have a little bit left over, and I've got quite a bit of the pink variegated left, so I probably will make a pair of shorty socks with that or use it on another design. I love Carista's yarn. So that is the Wildflower Tee. Again, I'm working on pattern writing on that right now, so I hope to be putting out a call for testers shortly on that. So the Wildflower Tee. Now, what I'm working on is another Christmas stocking. This one is for Luke. So we're just getting started on that. I cast on for this yesterday, and just on my third little section of that, this will be a red background with a white snowflake, where on the other one I had a blue background with the white snowflake. So it will be that same motif. As I said the last time, I am going to add the dog related motifs to the pattern, and then if you previously purchased the pattern, send me a quick email and I'm happy to send out an updated version for you so that you can make Christmas stockings for your dogs. I may eventually add some cat themed panels, but I don't have cats, so, and most of my friends don't have cats. I know a lot of you have cats, so I'll get pondering about adding some cat motifs. So anyway, the Colorwork sampler Christmas stocking, this one for Luke, and then I've got to make 2 more for his little sisters, and one last stocking I'm making for my nephew, and he's a grown man, but everybody in his family has nice stockings except him, and he's got like a fuzzy stocking from Walmart that's falling apart. So he asked if I would make him a Christmas stocking, and I am going to do that. He is in the Army Reserves, and he is, I think he's a major now. He's getting up there, but I think I'm going to make him a patriotic Christmas stocking, like a red, white, and blue Christmas stocking with a blue band with white stars, and then a red stripe and a white stripe, and then repeat that all along the body of the sock. So I've got to get some charting done and figure out if that's going to work, but I will do something patriotic for Kyle's Christmas stocking. So I've got to keep on plugging away on the kids' Christmas stockings so that I can get Kyle's before Christmas time. And that's totally doable. They really do not take that long to do, but I've always got other things in my mind that I want to be working on too. So, you know, that's how that goes. Now, on to designs that I'm working on. I have got a couple of designs in my head, and they are for colorwork sweaters with a circular yoke, pullovers, knit in the round, and I want to do something with 1x1 rib. Not rib, like 1x1 colorwork. And I'm kind of deciding on colors. So this color is from Mystery Mouse yarn, and that's Treasure Island. And then this is a mohair blend, again from Tuscan Knits, special yarn. So I might put those two together, or I've got this lovely pink from You and I, so it may be those two together, or it may be this with just a cream color or white. And that was my first thought, but I didn't have a fingering weight in that color, so I went with these two as maybe alternatives. So still pondering that. I'll have to do some swatching. And then another colorwork sweater in DK, and I've got these 4 skeins from Knitting McPurley. Fontaine, Bougie, Morel, and let's see if I can go through this without dropping everything, and Fathom. So I may do some kind of, I don't think it'll be a fade, but again, I've got a little idea in my head with maybe not all 1x1 color work, but a lot of 1x1, and something that becomes a little bit wavy as it goes around the body of the sweater. So we'll see what becomes of that. So those 2 are works in progress, or designs in progress, but they're just in my head right now. They are not on the needles, so I need to get some of those on the needles. Here are some of the comments that I received on my last episode. I always like to share the comments because they're fun for me to read, and I hope you enjoy them too. First, I got one from Ann Pinkova. She said, "Holy high res, Batman, did you get a new camera?" Well, I did get a different camera, and I think I might have had it on 4K the last time, which not a good idea. So I've downed the resolution a little bit this time, so hopefully it's still clear and you can understand everything well, but you don't need to see everything on my face. I don't want to see everything on my face. Elizabeth DeYoung says, "Thanks for another great episode. I'm looking forward to the Wildflower Tea release. I used to listen to something when I walk the dogs in the morning, but for the past couple of weeks I haven't, and I've noticed that I'm able to better focus the rest of the day and have been better at problem solving." So again, Elizabeth is giving herself a chance to be bored, and it's paying dividends for her. Selfish Knitter says, "You're getting great video quality with your new camera. I love the outdoor setting." I like being outside too. I try and be outside as much as I can. I don't like the extremes either way. I don't like the extreme cold or the extreme heat, but it's a beautiful day today, not too hot, just as I said before, a little bit of humidity today. Maureen M. says, "Cheryl, I always enjoy your podcast. You are so right about giving ourselves time to clear our minds, which for me can get so cluttered with everyday tasks and worries. Also, giving our children time to just be kids and use their imagination is so important." Totally agree. The Knitty Cat's wildly popular brand new podcast. She's got something like over 2,000 subscribers and only 3 episodes. So I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing a great job, and she truly deserves all the success that she's getting. But she just says, "Nice job, Cheryl." Thanks, Julie. The Pandemic Knitter says, "Great episode, Cheryl. I love that you made 2 different versions of the new sweater pattern, and your description of the book you're reading has me intrigued." So that's the Becoming Elizabeth Elliot book. Windy Hill Farms, Brenda says, "Great episode. Your sweater is beautiful, and I'm looking forward to the pattern. Thank you for the book recommendation. I love Elizabeth Elliot." Again, someone else who had heard of her before, totally new to me, but I do oftentimes live under a rock, and this is one of those occasions. Liz Can Knit said, "Great episode with some great reminders." Yarn Motivated, who is Joyce, says, "I love your creativity and outlook. Thank you for sharing both." Janet Roberson says, "Hello from Rainy Mounds, Illinois. I love all the projects you've made. I really like the quilt, which which I can't seem to fall down that rabbit hole. So maybe Janet is thinking about quilting but hasn't dove in just yet. It's kind of addicting, just like knitting, and you know, it requires lots of fabric, so more stash enhancement. S.K. Hoyt, who's Sharon, and she's the one who recommended the book, says, "I'm so glad you're enjoying the book." Susan Smith says, "Hi Cheryl, lovely episode. Shark Week was so much fun. I'm so glad and coordinated it and hope it will be an annual event." And it looks like it will be an annual event. She also has read a lot of Elizabeth Elliot, and she's the one, Susan is the one who told me that there's a movie about the story too. So she goes on to say she's a believer in boredom. There's nothing like it to get those creative juices flowing. It's hard for me to see how people can get bored though. So many projects, so little time. Isn't that the truth? And lastly, L.R. Lonidier, Lonidier, love the wildflower tee. I'm looking forward to the pattern release. Me too. I think that's going to be a pattern that people really enjoy, so I'm really looking forward to that. Lastly, want to just say something about the knit-alongs that are going on. And I wrote down a list of 4, though one of those is Fluff Your Stash from Texas Peach Knits. I believe that just ended, but I may be wrong on that. So Fluff Your Stash from Texas Peach Knits, the KAL knit-along from Pandemic Knitter, and she is doing that in conjunction with some other podcasts too. The Ranunculus knit-along is a very informal knit-along, and that's from the Knit Night podcast gals, Liz, Teresa, and Joe Bob. Watch them because they're hilariously funny, but their podcasts are long. They're often 2 hours, and they're just 3 friends, sometimes with other guests, just talking, just hanging out, so it's fun. And of course, the Summer of Murder knit-along from Murder Knits. That's a fun one that you just have to knit and watch true crime, take a picture of yourself, and hashtag Summer of Murder, and you're eligible to win some prizes. So those are some knit-alongs that are happening right now. I know there's a whole lot of other ones, but those are the ones that I'm most aware of right now. The Indiana State Fair starts this Friday, and I have mentioned before that I like to enter my knitting into the state fair. I do that, one, because it's kind of fun to win a ribbon and just a little bit of money, not very much money. But I also do it because I think it's a good thing that may just evangelize our hobby a little bit and maybe bring some younger people into the knitting fold. So I like to enter every year, and I do it almost every year. When you enter, the entry fee is $30 plus 50 cents per item that you enter. And this is adult competition in a category called Indiana Arts. And there's an Indiana Arts building. So there's knitting, crocheting, spinning, sewing, quilting, artwork, photography, and all kinds of other funny things, like there's a Lego competition, there's honey, there's all kinds of gardening, baking, so all kinds of different things. But I have only entered into the knitting competition. When you enter, you get 6 tickets to the fair. So I figured I'm probably going to go to the fair anyway, pay my entry fee, I get my 6 tickets. Then if I want to hop over to the fairgrounds real quick and just check something out, I don't feel like I spent money for a ticket, I need to stay there all day. I can go in and see if I won any ribbons and come back home, and then maybe go again later with my husband. If I have leftover tickets and my kids want to go, I can give them some tickets. So the Indiana State Fair, it starts Friday. I would love to tell you what I entered, but the identity of the knitter is kept secret from the judges. I'm sure they may look after the judging is complete, but I don't want to say what I have entered right now. I will do that once the fair is in progress. Actually, Friday afternoon, I think I will run over there. I'm not sure what time the fair opens, probably 10 o'clock in the morning, but I'll run over after work. It's just a few miles away, so it's an easy trip to the fairgrounds to see if I won any ribbons. Hopefully I did, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's all subjective, and there are lots of beautiful things there. Whether I win or not, I still get my tickets to the fair, and I still do my little part in plugging our hobby. So that is the State Fair. Last episode, I mentioned that I had started a new book called Becoming Elizabeth Elliot, and I am still listening to that book. Really, really good story, and I hear there's a movie about their Elizabeth and her husband and some other missionaries' life, so I'm going to have to check out the movie once I'm finished with the book, and lots of other books by her. The book that I'm reading is written by another author, but it's a biography. But she had written some other books, and I'm assuming that they are about her mission life, but I'm not positive of that. So as I get into those books, I will let you know. I'm just kind of getting to the part where I know what's ultimately going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet, and I'm yelling at my phone as I'm listening and walking down the street, walking my dog. So don't go in to visit that tribe, because things are not going to end well. But it hasn't happened yet, and I think I'm almost to that point. I'm really enjoying the book. And it's a little bit funny because I always felt like I enjoyed fiction and novels and literature more than nonfiction, but I've really been reading a lot of nonfiction lately, and so that's my current obsession book-wise, and I really do enjoy it. It's much like listening to podcasts, which I definitely enjoy. Now on to my little bonus segment, which is just whatever I want to talk about. Usually it's something that I'm enjoying or some kind of good news. I have mentioned that I have attended a boot camp 3 mornings a week at a local high school, and I've been doing that for 6 or 7 years with some friends of mine, some people that I just met at boot camp, some people that I barely know, but we've got boot camp in common, and I'm not always sure if I know all their first names, though I think I do. But anyway, boot camp ended. The teacher that was running it got a new job and is no longer teaching. Sorry about the lawn mowing. I can't tell the neighbors that don't mow your lawn right now because I would like to record a podcast. But anyway, I have started a new exercise program, and it is at a local, I guess it's a gym, but a local facility that is called Exercise Inc. And it is weight training, just like boot camp was, but it works a little bit differently. It's 1 day a week. You go in and you exercise with the trainer. for 20 minutes. You only do 5 exercises each time, and while you're doing it, it is super hard. And I have been sore for, like, the day after, maybe I can feel it a little bit. The second day after, I've been going on Thursday. By Saturday, I feel it every time I stand up or every time I reach for something. And so today is Monday that I'm recording. I can still feel it. I probably will not feel it too much tomorrow or Wednesday, but then I've got to go again on Thursday. So I have committed to a 12-week trial with this facility, and I'm not doing it for weight loss. I just would like to stay strong and keep my balance up. The stronger you are and the more your muscles are used and developed, the less likely you are to fall and get injured as you age. And I, like it or not, I'm getting all the AARP things, and I have been for 13 years now. So not 13, yeah, 13. I think you start getting them around the age of 50, and I'm 63 now, so I've been getting them for a while. This facility based their method of training on some studies that were done with senior citizens, and it really was reminiscent of another book that I read probably 15 or 20 years called Strong Woman, Strong Bodies, and it was about the benefits of weight training and featured a lot of women and men, but more women because there are more women alive at that age at retirement facilities and at nursing homes. And it showed the value, or really discovered the value, of weight training even for people in their 80s and 90s that had not exercised regularly for a while or at all. And the amount of weight that they needed to lift or move around was not much, but anything that they could do was very helpful in making these people stronger, and that strength gave them better balance and made them less likely to fall. And as we all know, the older you get, the more falling is a hazard for you. How many times have you heard, well, so-and-so fell and broke her hip, and then that starts that downhill slide. So none of us want to do that, which is why I am continuing to exercise, and will probably always continue to exercise. We'll see how this experiment with Exercise Inc. works, but so far so good. I'm really liking it. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe. If you have any comments or you want to tell me about your exercise routines, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear about what other people do, whether it's exercise or your knitting projects, or if you have color suggestions for me for my new colorwork sweaters. I'm interested in hearing those too. So thank you so much, and I'll see you probably not next week, because next week I'm going to be camping with the family, and but I should be back in 2 weeks. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.